Okay, now we're looking at the fourth and final case. So in this case, the price is greater than the average variable cost. So total revenue will more than cover total variable cost. So therefore the firm should produce. Okay, it's taking in enough to pay its variable inputs and there's money left over. And in fact, there's so much money left over that not only can they pay their fixed costs, but there's money left over beyond. And so that would be a positive economic profit. So the price covers the average variable cost, total revenue covers the total variable cost, and total revenue is greater than covers the total cost. So there's money left over at the end in excess of the fixed costs. So that means then that we're going to have a best output, okay, because we value these things. We look at them at the output that the firm would produce, and they would produce at their best level. And remember, where's the best level? It's that level where marginal revenue equals marginal cost. So we want that intersection between the price line, the marginal revenue line, and marginal cost to be above this low point on the average total. So maybe we'll say right about here. And so I'll come across and so have the intersection maybe be right around there. This line, when I bring it across, is going to intersect those letters, I guess. But worse things have happened. And so here is our demand curve. Out in the market. And then here is the supply curve. And now here is the price. There's our price line. So that's the price in the market, but then we continue it. We continue it across for the firm because that's the price that the firm will be facing. That looks pretty horizontal. Looks good to me. Okay, so here's our price. Set out in the market. Here's that price. That's the price that the firm faces. And so then this is our demand equals price equals average revenue. And then equals marginal revenue curve, but it's really a straight line. Okay, so what's the firm going to do? The firm is going to produce all those units, every unit here. The firm will produce every unit so long as the marginal revenue is greater than the marginal cost. So as long as that light blue line is higher than this, I call it hot pink line, purplish line. Okay, as long as the price, the marginal revenue, is higher than the marginal cost, the firm will produce it. But finally, at this point right there, right at that point, they become equal. And so the firm doesn't want to produce any more because beyond that, as we move to the right to higher quantities, the marginal cost is higher than the marginal revenue. The extra cost of making another unit would be more than it would sell for. We don't want that. So the firm will produce then this quantity, which I'll call Q best. In class, I might call it Q pi, where pi stands for profit. So it's the best to make profit. But in any case, here we are. Okay? So now, at this output, the price that's received per unit is right at this level, and the cost of making it per unit is right at that level, right there. See, that's the average total cost. That's what the average total cost curve tells us. The cost of making it per unit, and it shows it for all the different levels of output. So for each level of output, we get the cost per unit, but this is the level of output we're going to produce. This and only this. This is where we're going to produce, at this output. So at this output, what's the average total cost? So we go directly up, and that's the average total cost. And so go right across here. Okay, go right across. And then this is then the ATC. Now it's the ATC more particularly. It's the ATC when output is Q best. But that's where we are going to produce, Q best. And so there's our average total cost. So remember then, when we look, we say price minus average total cost. So that's the profit or loss per unit. In this case, it's a profit, right? Because the price is more than the average total cost. So in case 2, the price was less than average total cost, and so this was a negative number in the parentheses, so it was a loss. In case 3, the price and average total cost were exactly the same, so it was 0 in the parentheses. But in this case now, the price is greater than average total cost, and so this is a positive number. That's our per unit profit. And then times the number of units, which is Q best. Okay, so I'll just call it Q. And so what we have then is guess I will use guess I'll use yellow to shade this in. Kind of looks like a yellow-green mix. It's not a great color. But, so, we go right to there. So that rectangle that I've just shaded in, what is its height? The height is the difference between P and ATC. And what is its width? The width is from 0 out to Q best. So from 0 out to Q best. And so that's the same as this. Okay, so that gives us our profit. And so that rectangle that has that as a corner, that as a corner, that where marginal revenue equals marginal cost is a corner, and where this line up hits average total cost as a corner. Okay, so those are the 4 corners: the price level, the average total cost on this axis, where marginal revenue hit marginal cost, and the average total cost at Q best. That rectangle right there then is the economic profit. Now what does this mean, this positive economic profit? This represents profit in excess, So sometimes it's called excess profit. This is profit in excess of what the firm's owners could have earned if they had taken the resources that they own that are put into the firm, into this business, and instead put them somewhere else. So it would be like they could take the inputs that they own and instead of using them themselves, rent them out or sell them and then put the money in the bank and earn interest or whatever. And let's say doing that, they would have earned $200,000 somewhere else. With their business, they end up with $230,000 of accounting profit. That would be an economic profit of $30,000. They had done $30,000 better than their next best alternative. And how is it that you do better than your next best alternative? It's not because you're good. Because remember, if you're the owner of an input and it's a good input or you're good yourself, your opportunity cost will be high. So if you're a great manager, that means somebody else would pay you a lot to manage their business. So you can't make it because you're good. The better you are, the higher your opportunity cost. And the opportunity costs then are the implicit costs, so they're included. No, the way you make an economic profit is that you're in the right place at the right time. It's good fortune. And so, what will happen is there will be other owners of resources in the economy, and they'll look and they'll say, hey, look, Fred's making more money in that business than he can make anyplace else. It's not because of Fred, it's because he's in the right place. And so they'll want to be in the right place too. And so they'll come and they'll enter the industry. They'll want to make this extra profit. And so what happens then is that as they come in, it'll increase the supply. And when it increases the supply, the price will fall. See? And at this new price then, profit will be smaller. Okay, output would be here. So it would be like here. Profit will be smaller. Profit's now just down here, this down in this range. But there's still a positive economic profit, and so what will happen? Other people will see that. They'll come in, and the supply will shift out. Oh, these lines are ugly when I draw them by hand, but then we'll have another supply curve. Price will fall. Then, a little bit further. Until what happens? Until so many new companies come in to take advantage of this situation that the price has fallen all the way down to the point where profits are zero again. Okay, and so that's that equilibrium idea. So you get economic profit, I see it, I enter, other people enter, it drives down the price because there's more of us supplying it. Next thing you know, we're all just making as much as we could make elsewhere, which from society's standpoint is exactly what we hope for. Okay, so hopefully now you would feel comfortable drawing each of these four cases and understanding what they mean. Okay.